In competitive Pokemon, not every Mon is made equal. Some are so strong in fact that they are banned in certain formats. These restricted Pokemon are Pokemon like Mewtwo, Groudon, and Kyogre. However, VGC has just entered a restricted format, allowing for one of these Pokemon per team. Debates are flying about which one is the best and which one is the worst, and in the middle of all of this is Shadow Rider Calyrex. Before the start of this restricted format, people were terrified of it, but after two major events, it hasn't even cracked top 8. Now people are calling it a fraud. So which one is it? A broken mon or a fraud? That is the topic of today's video. Before we begin, I would just like to ask you to subscribe because I have a goal of reaching 500 subscribers by the end of the year. So, if you like what you see, subscribe. So, the first thing that popped up in your mind is probably Incineroar, right? He's the reason why Calyrex does so poorly, right? Well, maybe, but also, Incineroar was around in the Sword and Shield era, and in that era, Calyrex Ice. Oh my gosh. In that era, Calyrex Shadow Rider was very strong in competitive play. So what gives? Well, there's more at play here. The Gen 8 gimmick was Dynamax, allowing you to be able to double the HP of one of your Pokemon, and also have access to powerful max moves. These two things help Calyrex Shadow Rider fight off Incineroar because it can either Dynamax itself, or even better, its neighboring Pokemon, get it, neighboring, could, and deal with Incineroar itself. Calyrex could also use its signature move Acid Barrage to do huge damage to both of the opponent's Pokemon. A great way to stop that was with Wide Guard, a move that blocks spread moves like Acid Barrage. However, with the power of Dynamax, Calyrex could just go big and turn Acid Barrage into Max Phantasm, a single target move. But all these great things are gone in Gen 9. Dynamax has been replaced with Terrestrialization, a gimmick that hurts more than helps Calyrex Shadow Rider. It is because now you have Pokemon that are running Terra Normal to become immune to the Ghost type Acid Barrage. Sure, Calyrex Shadow Rider can remove its 4-time weakness to Dark by becoming Terra Fairy, but the benefits just don't outweigh the deficits for the Ghost Horse. Another big part of Calyrex's underperformance is the way that battles are won in Gen 9 versus Gen 8. In Gen 8, the metagame was very hyper-offensive, with max moves being a huge part of the meta. In Gen 9, however, it's more friendly towards defensive strategies, like Tinglu, Dodozo Stall for example. This too hurts Calyrex because it thrives in formats that support hyper-offense. Another thing is what I like to call the big fish theory. You see, people had Calyrex Shadow Rider on their radar, so they're prepared for it. When you really prepare for a matchup, you tend to beat that matchup, more often than not. So since people prepared for Calyrex Shadow Rider, do you see where I'm going with this? With the reasons why Calyrex S is underperforming out of the way, at least in my opinion, it's time to answer the question, is it a fraud? Honestly, no. I used it to top cut 2 local events I competed in, and it performed well. I feel like we need to support it with Pokemon that have good counters to Dark types, as well as provide speed control. You can outcompete your opponent and still get the win. And that's the video. I thought it would be longer than this, but yeah, don't forget that you will love it, that you matter, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.